So, what holds the most value on Earth right now? I mean, really take a second and think about that. What is the single most valuable asset class on the entire planet? Your mind probably jumps to a few of the usual suspects. Is it one of the massive tech companies that basically run our daily lives? Or maybe something more timeless, something you can actually hold, like gold?
Well, when you actually stack them all up, the ranking tells a really fascinating story about what we truly value in today's economy.
Welcome back to Finance Deep Dive. Today, we are counting down the 10 largest assets in the world, and that includes companies, commodities, and yeah, even digital currencies. The order they're in? Well, it reveals where global power is really concentrated. Let's get into it. We're going to kick things off with the bottom half of our top 10, and you'll see it's a group pretty much dominated by the titans of tech. Coming in at number 10 is Meta Platforms, with a valuation of roughly $1.6 trillion. You know, just a few years back, the whole narrative was about this massive, kind of uncertain spending on the metaverse. But now, that story has completely flipped. It's a laser focus on advertising effectiveness and super strict cost discipline, and that has powerfully rebuilt investor confidence.
Next up, at number 9, we've got the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, valued around $1.7 trillion. Now, here's the thing. TSMC doesn't design the chips, but they manufacture almost all the advanced ones for companies like Apple and Nvidia. In this age of AI, that control over manufacturing, well, it makes them one of the most pivotal companies on the entire planet. Plain and simple, control of production is power.
Tied with TSMC at about $1.7 trillion is Bitcoin. I mean, what started as this niche cypherpunk experiment has now become a permanent fixture in global capital markets. The key driver here? Growing institutional adoption. We're talking pension funds, corporations, and major banks all getting involved, which is just solidifying its status as a major asset class. Breaking that $2 trillion mark at number 7 is Amazon, coming in near $2.3 trillion. Amazon's power really comes from this rare and super potent combination. You've got the enormous scale of its global retail operation, and you pair that with the incredible profitability of its cloud computing arm, AWS. So what you get is both foundational infrastructure and just immense, predictable cash flow. And rounding out the first half of our list is a true giant, Microsoft, valued at over $3 trillion. Through its dominance in enterprise software like Office, its massive cloud platform, Azure, and now its deep integration of AI tools, Microsoft has become way more than just a vendor. It is the indispensable operating system for a huge chunk of the modern business world. All right, now we're entering a whole new tier of value, the top 5 assets in the world. I mean, this represents an absolutely incredible concentration of economic power. Kicking off our top 5 is Alphabet at about $3.6 trillion. It is almost impossible to imagine the modern internet without it, right? Through search, its globe-spanning ad network, YouTube, and its cutting-edge AI platforms. Alphabet is the very bedrock of how we find and consume information. At number 4, we have Apple, and it's approaching a staggering $4 trillion. I mean, the durability of Apple's business model is just legendary. That seamless integration of its hardware, the super tight control of its ecosystem, and the explosive growth of its services revenue, it all combines to create one of the most resilient financial fortresses in history. Surging into the top 3 is Nvidia, valued above $4 trillion. Its rise has been nothing short of historic. The absolutely insatiable demand for its chips to power the AI revolution has completely reshaped the entire landscape. The crucial point to get here is that computation is no longer just a tool, it has become a strategic global resource, kind of like oil or electricity. And now, for a turn you might not have seen coming. At number 2, with a valuation around $6 trillion, is silver. Yep, silver. This is such a powerful reminder that these old assets can regain the spotlight in a really dramatic fashion. Silver's rise is being fueled by a perfect storm of industrial demand, its critical role in the energy transition for things like solar panels, and, of course, renewed interest from investors looking for tangible value. And finally, at number 1, towering above everything else with a valuation of more than, get this, $35 trillion, is gold. Across centuries, through the rise and fall of empires, through failed currencies and countless crises, it has remained the ultimate, undisputed store of value. It's not just an asset, it's the bedrock against which everything else is measured.
Technology changes, but that fundamental human trust in scarcity, that endures.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale we're talking about. I mean, look at this chart. You see the incredible valuations of Nvidia and silver? They are true titans in their own right. And then you see gold. It's not just in another league, it's playing an entirely different game. The gap is simply immense.
So, what does this list actually tell us about where power really lies today? Let's connect the dots. This whole ranking reveals that power today really sits at the intersection of three pillars. First, there's technology, the power of computation and innovation, which is embodied by companies like Nvidia. Second is infrastructure, the digital and physical networks that run our world, like Amazon's cloud. And third, belief, the simple, shared, centuries-old trust in an asset's enduring value, which is the entire story of gold. So whether we're talking about the most advanced AI chips, sprawling digital networks, or an ancient precious metal, they all serve the same fundamental purpose: to preserve and expand value over time. They're just different forms of the exact same human pursuit. This is so important to remember. These rankings, they will shift again. But if you can understand the underlying forces, the technology, the infrastructure, and those systems of belief that cause these shifts, you gain a perspective on the world that most people just miss out on. So if this breakdown helped you see things a little more clearly, hitting that like button really helps. Now, I want to know what you think. Drop a comment below. Which asset on this list was the biggest surprise to you? Was it silver's huge comeback or Nvidia's incredible surge? Let me know. And be sure to subscribe for more clear, structured thinking on the forces shaping our world.